Hi, meteorologist Carly Gomez bringing you the updates here on your 4th of July as well as the 4th of July weekend ahead. Now, we did see a record tide today. That was in Stockton at 108 degrees, tying the 1991 record, just close, missing it by a degree in downtown Sacramento, with 3 degrees off for Sacramento Executive Airport and 3 degrees off in Modesto for the 4th of July highs versus those record temperatures. Now, we did think we'd get closer to about 108 today in Sacramento, just shy of that, but everywhere north and south did see those temperatures pushing 108. Foothills around 100 to 104 with 90 there in Truckee. As we take a look here at our current 100-degree temperature streak, 11 is that current record for 100-degree temperatures. That was set in 2016. Now we're looking here at potentially setting a new record if we go all the way toward Wednesday. Looks like at this point we could be tying. Thursday would break the record, making it 12 days. And at this point, it looks like we're actually going to make it through the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This is where we could start coming up shy as we start getting toward Tuesday. Looks like temperatures may drop just a little bit lower to right at 100 degrees. So we're going to have to wait and see. But after that Tuesday, we are anticipating more 100-degree temperatures right after that. So we're going to have to wait and see if we do end up breaking that 100-degree streak there for 11 days in downtown Sacramento. I mean, it's not a streak you necessarily want to break, or, a lot of people saying, oh, it's just too hot out there. But some people like to see some records broken. As we take a look at our weather impact ahead. Now, here's our headlines. We do have the excessive heat warning that still remains in effect until Tuesday. Now, again, this could be upgraded or lowered here, downgraded as we get to the weekend, because by Monday, we're going to get a better understanding of what Tuesday holds. If temperatures do end up dropping a little bit lower than that 100-degree mark, well, they might expire that, then pick it right back up for us Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, as we are looking at temperatures closer to about 102 to 104 degrees. Now, 105 to 112 is expected this weekend. Major to extreme heat risk is going to be a part of your weekend, so make sure you're limiting your time outdoors, making sure you find enough shade and hydration for you, your pets, your family, the elderly, your neighbors. Check on them as well. We'll see some elevated fire concerns. Now, what we're seeing with this is we currently have a red flag warning still in effect for some areas. Most of them, though, is where we're seeing a lot of grasslands, a lot of grass and fuel for fires, which happens to be around Vacaville, Fairfield, and north toward Clear Lake. We're also seeing that for some coastal range spots. Everything else is out of the red flag warning area because the winds aren't expected to be as gusty, but they'll still be a little gusty with still dry conditions that'll be pretty low for humidity. So again, regardless of whether you're in that red flag zone here, which looks like they just lifted some of those zones, it looks like now this is our only zone here for red flag warning, Saturday till 11 p.m. around Clear Lake. Everything else has been lifted, but again, this is still an elevated fire concern. Not only are we dry and a little gusty into our evening hours, we are dealing with extreme heat. Anything that sparks a fire could take off quickly because of how dry our fuels, our grasses are out there, and we've been seeing it with fireworks left and right, barbecues as well. One thing kind of sparks quickly, catches the fence on fire, catches the house on fire, catches the neighbor's house on fire. This is not something we want to see, and as we've been also seeing, the Thompson fire a little further north has broke out and burned lots of acres there, and that also caused evacuations. Now, as we're looking at significant for fire potential, this is where we're at, the high risk zone, because we'll be looking at some winds coming in right through these delta spots. They'll be moving their way north. They'll be moving directly toward the east as well as toward the south. Now, all these areas are going to be a fire concern, not only because of the winds, but of course, as mentioned, because of the fuel, the dry grass. So hot and dry, and just very, very dry conditions with the grasses out there. So it's going to be unseasonably hot. We know that. We're already anywhere from 15 to 25 degrees above the average for this time of year, which happens to be about 92 degrees. So yeah, be hitting anywhere from 105 to 112 is very hot, unseasonably hot. Now, the wind gusts coming into our evening hours through the delta here, you can notice they coming right in and spreading their way to the north, to the east, and to the south. And this is our zones of concern every night, Friday, Saturday, and as potentially even into Sunday evening, as we start to see more of these winds fanning some potential for flames. Saturday night, you're looking at some more strong wind gusts, especially for areas just near that Tracy Triangle. Again, up toward, as you see, Fairfield there, 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts and some coastal range spots. Now, finally, turning into our relative humidity, this is where we look at percentages changing for us. We could be, again, down to single-digit humidity, just bone dry out there. 10 to 20% is what we have been noticing throughout the daytime hours. So our wildfire danger still remains very high. No fireworks, no burning in areas where we're seeing, of course, forest land, of course, but the campfires, make sure you are aware of where you're camping. If you had plans this weekend, the next weekend, or even in the month, do they allow campfires? Is there a designated spot? And if there is, make sure you know that that fire is out before even leaving that area. As we look at the excessive heat warning, that'll be in play until, again, Tuesday, 11 p.m. This may get lifted sooner, just depending on where we're tracking and how quickly our high pressure system overhead shifts toward the east. If that moves quickly, we'll see this expiring sooner. If it holds in place like it has been, we may see this extended. The heat advisory is in effect for areas of the foothills and the high Sierra as well. Let's look at our heat risk. Notice the purple shades there. That is extreme heat. Meanwhile, we're looking at major heat around Sacramento North as well as Stockton South, major heat risk. So regardless of whether you're major, extreme, or even moderate, it is hot outside. Just keep that into consideration if you have plans, especially plans to stay outside for longer periods of time. Otherwise, just stay inside, watch a nice movie, enjoy your time, get a little pool action, then come back in and rest. This is going to be affecting everyone. Even if you do have effective cooling and it's not going to be a time where you're staying inside long, you want to make sure you're finding time to stay inside. All right, let's take a look at our satellite radar. We do have high pressure in place that has been like this for the last week, but now that high is really digging and building that ridge way up there into areas of Canada and the Gulf of Alaska, finally starting to see a low pressure system churning here. This is going to be pulled way up north, up and over the western U.S. As that high pressure stays and remains in place, this is going to slowly and gradually shift to the east, but it really has been stubborn. It has been sitting overhead for some time, and that is what's been causing our triple-digit heat to remain with hardly any fluctuation. We've only been within a few degrees of rising every day from 100 to 102, 104, 106. We have been gradually rising every day. And again, it looks like the peak of this heat may be Friday into Saturday. As this shifts toward the east, we're finally going to get a bit of cooling with that low pressure trough here beginning to extend closer to us. That at least helps our temperatures out. Even if it's only 4 to 6 degrees, that still puts us in the upper 90s. So about 98 degrees the following weekend. But hey, considering we've been near 110 already, I think a lot of people will take that. Now, 101 expected in Groveland for Friday with 106 in Sonora. But check out some of these overnight lows. Jackson at 71. Ione, a high of 111 degrees expected. 95 degrees in Truckee. Now, if you're trying to get some relief, the Bay Area is where it's at. 72, low 70s to mid 70s in San Francisco with low 80s in Oakland. You'll be looking at hot temperatures still in Vacaville around 109 degrees. Then the Sacramento and San Joaquin Valley spots will be anywhere from, check out Colusa, 115 to 110, and eventually about 109 to 110 even further south. So again, very hot temperatures. We are seeing weather impact days lasting all through next week as we at least kick off the work week. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, still weather impact days for you as we're still looking at triple-digit heat. And then finally, Monday and Tuesday, 100 degrees on Tuesday is expected. So we do see that trough beginning to dig in for us as we come into Tuesday. Now, whether or not that remains 100-degree temperature, we're going to have to wait and see, because if we get to Wednesday and then eventually Thursday, that is where we break the streak. Thursday would be the 12th day of 100-degree temperatures, breaking that old temperature streak that we've had in the past. Otherwise, that following weekend, you're finally seeing 90s returning to the forecast.